Let me hit record real quick.
The fingerprints on your screen look like an entire landscape.
Shh, be quiet.
Well, you're not going to want to use this audio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another PBS Live. My name's Carr. This is Topher.
That's me.
And we have a crowd of crowds inside of the comments today. But, yeah.
There's a lot of high-level discussion going on around.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters in here. I see a lot of heavy hitters.
I see Justin is back.
Oh, doxed. Oh, no, he doesn't care. Cool. Moon is back in town. So today we're going to be talking about Lit Devs recap. What did you think about Lit Devs?
I thought it was awesome. I wasn't there.
Really? You didn't come?
Yeah, I was in LA.
Wait, you were there, weren't you, at Lit Devs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
How was it?
How was it?
They did a Pleb Q&A for like basic Pleb writing questions.
Yeah.
Pleb Q&A.
I gave feedback to Dave and I was like, that's a good section, you should keep doing it.
Yeah.
Who was on the panel?
Dusty. It was Dusty and I think Carmen, yeah.
Oh, so Dusty and Carman just fielding questions from the audience. That's
yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
And we streamed it live. I think it had the most views that it's ever had on the stream. But
Really?
I think the internet was acting up that day. I need to probably like just do some Ethernet.
This is what, the third Lit Devs?
Is it the third or fourth? Fourth Lit Devs?
Fourth, for
Yeah.
those who are counting.
Yeah, it's kind of taken off actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta do a voltage ad. So we want to thank our sponsor, Voltage. Topher uses Voltage.
Yeah. And Voltage is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually, they're coming out with some new stuff. I don't know if you heard about this, but they recently
the
came out
one-click
with
thing, right?
the
one-click
free
thing.
liquidity.
Yeah, yeah. How does that work?
So basically, if you set up a Lightning node with Voltage, I haven't gone through the process myself because I have liquidity from other channels. But if you're setting up a Lightning channel for the first time, like one of the hardest things is getting inbound liquidity. So like typically, if you know what you're doing, you can either hit up your buddies and say, hey, open a channel with me. Or if you don't mind spending some money, you can buy inbound liquidity from Zero Fee Routing. It's a popular one.
Oh wow.
But what Voltage does, and they say, hey, click this button and we'll give you free 500,000 sats inbound liquidity.
Whoa, that's all you need, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, not only that, you're connected to Voltage. So I haven't looked at them on the channel graph, but I mean, that they must be pretty well connected. So it's like,
Yeah.
that might be all that you really need to get started.
So like you as a developer, does that make things easier for you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you don't, I mean, they already take care of the fact that you don't have to deal with setting up a Lightning node because they just take care of that for you. But now, with this new feature that they're rolling out, you don't even have to worry about like setting up your liquidity. You
Oh,
can
wow.
just kind of set up a channel with them. You have them managing your node, and you can just get to developing right away. It's awesome. I love
Kind
it.
of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Nate over at Voltage for setting that up.
Yeah. Thanks, Nate.
Cheers, brother.
Love Nate. Haven't seen Nate in a while. When was the last time I saw Nate? Probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
You know what I noticed? There's like a lot of Nates in this space.
Is there?
They're almost starting to
How many
rival the
Nates-
Bens.
How many Nates are there?
Well, there's Big Nate, there's Voltage Nate, and then there's Nate from Block Hooks.
Oh, so we have 3 Nates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so far.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, 3 of them are here or somewhere in Austin. The next thing we want to talk about is there's a Bitcoin documentary being shot at in Austin today. Did you see that? Yeah, Logan. Yeah, Logan.
I
Okay.
walked into Pleb Lab today and I just see someone holding a boom mic over Kyle and someone filming him while he's just like putting together the water machine.
This is how like,
Oh,
Dude,
fantastic B-roll.
They're just filming him.
dude, this has gone. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying like it's great. Like we're getting all this
You
publicity.
gotta
and
get
stuff,
that B-roll footage,
But
man.
it's just the B-roll and like it just feels very like, you know what I mean?
Feels forced.
kind of, but I mean it's fine.
But
Like-
that's what editing does. It'll make it look natural.
But yeah, they were shooting today at Pleb Lab, and then I think they're going to be shooting over the weekend. They wanted to shoot at the Commons. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. He was supposed to come in today. I don't know if that's going to happen. But he had showed me some like footage, like actual footage of the movie.
Oh, what is
It
it
looks
like?
it looks pretty inspiring, dude. It definitely has a documentary feel to it, but it definitely it feels inspiring. Like there was a clip with like Greg Foss in there. There's another, like, obviously Kyle, myself, and everybody at Pleb Lab was in there.
Did you see anything that was outside of Austin?
Yeah, Greg Foss was in there that I saw. I saw some Katie stuff, but that was at BitBlock Boom, I think, in Dallas. It looks good. It looks good. I think from what he was telling me today, I'm sure I can share this. I think he's already finishing up, but like the last of it's just this weekend, and then he's gonna have the final cut, hopefully.
Nice. Wow, that soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this about Bitcoin specifically, or is it like?
I think it's about like Bitcoin and then like this whole pleb movement that's been kind of taking place over the course of like since like 2020 or 2021, whatever it's been. But
That's what really needs a film. The pleb movement.
I think that's what it is. Like I think
That'll be great.
I don't know. So,
Calling all plebs. Come to Austin.
you heard it here
Come
first.
to the Mecca.
You heard it here first. Did you see any of your friends when you went to California?
Yeah, I went to LA. I saw my friends. None of them are Bitcoiners, unfortunately. Still working on that. But yeah, just kind of hung out, had a good time. Mainly had to just take care of like all the junk that I left behind in LA.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see Dusty's boat or no?
No, I didn't see that. Oh, I should have hit him up, huh?
I thought don't you have a boat over there or something?
We're talking about Dusty being a ship captain.
Don't you have a boat? Do you want to come talk about it?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah?
Dusty.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So
Dusty's
when you
gonna
were
talk about
over there,
his.
you were just like grabbing stuff and then move it over here.
Yeah, I have to get everything ready to ship back over here because I'm moving here permanently now.
Oh
So, yeah.
nice, dude!
It'll be
Congratulations,
fun.
dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking
Yeah.
boats. I heard you were in LA too.
I was in LA.
Yeah, swing that over to
LA's. I shouldn't say LA's a shitcoin on
No, you could
microphone.
totally say LA's a ship.
Can you see him, Logan? Or
LA
no?
is a very respectable place, full of
Okay, here,
traffic and.
Scoot over to him.
Okay.
Let's bring him in.
I
Let's
feel
bring
very
him in.
short. Maybe that's good. I'm used to being tall, so this will be.
This is working. This
Like
is
try
working.
it out.
There you go.
Card Monty.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
can you see him? All right, that's
All right.
fine.
Just trying to eat my avocado over here.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
tell us about your boat. This is why we're having you on,
Right.
the important stuff.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about,
If it has a motor, you're not a real pleb.
it has a motor and it also has sails. Right. But I feel like if we're talking about a boat, I should first qualify. I bought this boat off Craigslist from a dude who was like needed to sell it right away, and he wanted 11 grand in cash.
Wow.
I had to bring a pile of cash to him. So just to clarify, I do not have a rich boat. I'm not a rich person with fancy boat things. I have a pleb boat that happens to be awesome.
What's the boat's name?
Amistar.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I recently learned actually, there's this guy named Pearson who built a bunch of boats, and apparently it was like his personal sailboat. And there's this like community of sailors that are trying to find Pearson's original sailboat, and they're like trying to find me and my boat apparently.
Really?
And I haven't told them. But one day maybe I'll sell it to them for like a bunch of money. Who knows?
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Nice.
Weren't you? Is it okay if I say about the airplane stuff?
Yeah, I have one of those like friends and family, like airport things that we're talking about.
No, it's about your license.
Oh, that thing.
So, like, Dusty has, like, she's traveled by land, by sea, and, like, by air. You're like, knocking out all the
It's like
see,
three
space.
different ways to lose your Bitcoin.
As a kid, I always wanted to go to space, and like I think maybe that's why I conquered the sea and the sky, because it's the closest I could get.
So you'll get to space at some point?
I'd love to. Fuck yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah, I believe in me too, but maybe not this. I mean, it all depends on like I feel like my love for Elon goes up and down. Like when he talks about Bitcoin, I start hating him, but I really would love for there to be like commuter traffic to space, and Elon seems like the best chance of that actually happening.
Do you think you'll make your own rocket ship one day? Like, serious question.
I want to say yes, but like no, there's no way that's happening. No, but if somebody on Craigslist is selling their rocket ship because they're having hard times for 11 grand for cash only, I'll be right there, dude, right there.
Me and Austin were talking about that this week about Craigslist, where you like trade up from a paper clip, and then you get like the next thing, which is like a bar of soap, and then you trade the bar of soap for like a 12-pack of soda or something, and then you trade that and keep going
That's
up.
just the Pleb Lab roadmap.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were just talking about paper clips over there.
Yeah, but instead of
It's
doing all these
it's actually
trades,
happened,
Just
right, Austin? It's like
Bitcoin and hold.
Allegory.
It's a Bitcoin hold?
No, instead of like doing all these different trades, you can just get Bitcoin and then hold.
Yeah, I support
yeah.
that. I think it's a good plan. Don't buy a
Skip all
boat,
the
buy
paper
Bitcoin.
clips and-
Sell your boat, sell your chairs, buy Bitcoin.
so. Let's get serious for a second.
In 2017, I cashed out.
You bought a boat?
Trade to buy a $3,000 off Craigslist, Pearson 28.
You bought a fucking boat. You've done it.
Really?
Yeah.
Sold it for $7,000 in cash for somebody I made it
So you doubled your money?
deli and found them off the local Bitcoins and sold them half a Bitcoin for $7 grand.
Wow.
I'm regretting that now.
Wow.
Water, I
Dude,
took money
I bought an iPod on the back in the day for like 2 Bitcoins, and it was worth like, I don't know, fucking $30 or something. Dumbest shit ever.
What do you guys think about the whole tornado cash thing? Just like boom, right in it. What's just no, just
Is this really why you bought
well, I
it?
need a meteorologist. Is there a meteorologist in the building? Is there a
You're
meteorologist in
gonna
the
push
building?
to GitHub from international.
What do you think about the?
I want
What do you
to.
think about the? What do you think about the tornado alley that happens from Oklahoma to Texas?
Oh, yes, of
Specifically,
course.
'cause we're talking about
You
meteorologists.
know, as like a new Texan, I think I can speak with authority on this. From what I've learned is that the weather around here tends to be very hot, and that's all that I actually know.
do you think it's one of those things where like the tornadoes just avoid Austin, or do we go towards?
Oh
the
yeah, they just
tornadoes?
hit like Round Rock, didn't they?
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
dodged
like Central
us.
Austin.
And these buildings are still standing, so I figure they must not hit here.
So to avoid tornadoes, you got to be in a building of a sort.
Yeah, I wonder if like, you know, I don't know if like the tornadoes are avoiding Bitcoiners or just Bitcoiners tend to go to places just naturally where the tornadoes don't go.
I've never seen a tornado in North Korea though. That's a thing.
Huh. Sounds like a conspiracy.
No,
but
what do you think about the tornado cash?
I just get my
Unless you don't
popcorn
wanna
out,
talk- unless you don't
waiting
wanna talk
to see
about
what
it.
happens, man. Like, I don't know. Watching other coins just have shit shows is like a little bit. There's a little Schadenfreude. But I kind of love like that the one of the guys with a bunch of that ETH just is like dusting every single Ethereum wallet, and like I think we're seeing the state like battle of control of that like play out. Like if they have to enforce that law, like all of Ethereum now becomes like illegal, right?
Yeah, do you want to expand on that a little bit? Because that kind of gets into the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum and the way it does accounting.
Oh, like the UTXOs versus accounts.
Yeah, so in Bitcoin, because it's a transaction-based model, if somebody were to send you tainted Bitcoin, let's say, then you could isolate that from your account, not spend it. You could essentially send it to a burn address or do whatever. But because of the way the Ethereum works, when somebody sends you money, that's it.
It's
It's
in
like
their
mixed
account.
into your account. There's no way to separate
The
it.
funniest one is Brian Armstrong, right? He's got his ETH balance, and like I guess it's publicly known, and they sent some of the tornado tainted Ethereum into his account balance, and now his entire account balance is mixed with the illegal coins.
Yeah.
So like, does Brian Armstrong like get in trouble there now? How does that play out?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that we're all going to jail.
So I think the biggest thing is what do we do as opposed to, I mean, obviously they're going after developers on Ethereum, but still that's bad just for developers in general, right? Like
Yeah.
I know, isn't there like some kind of open source fund
The GitHub
for like
thing?
lawyers and stuff like that we have in our space
For Bitcoin.
But how bad does this get if this comes over to Bitcoin next, like for Wasabi and CoinJoins and stuff like that?
Well, luckily we got that Dorsey Fund for Legal Defense. I mean, the thing that I'm more concerned about is the fact that the GitHub developers who contributed code to the Tornado thing, the Tornado Mixer, their GitHub accounts got deleted. And this is a weird precedent, right? Like, not that I would never write like shitcoin code on GitHub for that purpose, but like, I do kind of, even though I don't support those shitcoins, I do think like the developers that are writing code shouldn't be like tied into this. And like the idea that now like GitHub/Microsoft is the arbiter of who's allowed to contribute code to open source things is a freaky precedent. And if that like continues, like I think we all have to like leave GitHub or something.
The developer in Amsterdam got arrested.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so somebody already went to jail. Although from what I vaguely read about it, it was that he was making money off of it.
He Yeah, there could have been some tie.
Yeah.
Oh, and Bitcoin developers don't make any money, so we're fine.
But what about like for example, Whirlpool?
Okay.
Like Samurai makes money off of that, or just like Join Market. Like, so if you contribute code to Join Market, does that mean you can get your account deleted and potentially
they're next.
thrown in jail? Yeah.
Well, it was also Amsterdam that arrested the guy. I don't think they have freedom of speech protections in Amsterdam. So they could say we arrested you because we don't like what you wrote. Whereas in the United States, it'd be more difficult for them to arrest you for that.
Yeah, it's true. This was done outside the U.S.
Is there any other developers out there that want to talk about this and that are comfortable to? I mean, I don't want to force anybody to talk about it if they don't want to. Super, you want to talk about it?
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come tell us the developer secrets. Do you want to take my spot?
No.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll scoot over a chair. Oh, don't do
Yeah, I'll
short
just
anymore.
say, like, if people are watching this on the stream, that we're not saying that to do anything nefarious or anything like that to avoid any kind of like.
I am. Do something nefarious.
But it's just to. I think most people
support the IRS.
want to know, like, if they're a developer, like, what do you do?
Sorry.
This is a pretty big precedent that's being set just from getting your account banned.
So what do you think, Super?
First of all, Ethereum is trash, and I've never wanted to use it more than after I could get in trouble and go to jail for using it. It's the only temptation I've ever had
It's a
to
joke, I'm
use Ethereum
sure.
was when it was like, if you send a transaction to this one address, you can go to jail for that. And I'm like, oh man, now I want to. Also, one of the things that I think is worth mentioning is that the IRS recommends that you use financial privacy tools. The IRS says that you shouldn't reveal to people the sources of your income. You shouldn't reveal to people your expenses, your profits, your losses. They explicitly say if you have those files, or if you have files in your computer in digital format that has that information, you should encrypt it so that other people can't find it. This is all in their privacy policy if you go to irs.gov.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the moment someone actually writes a tool for encrypting your financial transactions, they arrest them. Well, not the IRS didn't arrest him. Amsterdam did. But they put him on the OFAC list. So, like, which is it, IRS? Are we supposed to have financial privacy like you say? Or are we not supposed to do that because criminals do it too?
So let me throw like just kind of a devil's advocate kind of a question to you. Like, let's say hypothetically North Korea was using Tornado Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Is it then okay to do this?
It's okay whether or not North Korea uses Tornado Cash. North Korea uses iPhones. North Korea uses Jeeps. Should we ban those? Should we ban anything that criminals find useful? I don't think so, because I think the reason why criminals use iPhones, Jeeps, and Bitcoin is because they find them because they're good tools. Criminals like good tools. They don't stick to crappy tools. So good people also like good tools. But yeah, that is why I don't think they should be banned. The justification for banning Tornado Cash is they said North Korea is using it. But that's not a good reason. In fact, that's a good reason to say, oh, this must be a useful tool.
North Korea also watches Hollywood films.
Oh, we got to ban Hollywood now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's official.
So if you're a developer, then Super, what do you do in a situation like this? Do you avoid like projects like that, or do you think that's just going to stay on Ethereum? And
No, I have no intention of avoiding writing privacy tools now that they're being attacked. I will contribute more fervently to ensure that everyone has privacy, so that you don't get arrested for using privacy tools.
questions?
You're welcome.
What do you think about pseudonyms or just like
Oh,
names now?
those are terrible. I oppose pseudonyms. As Super Testnet, if you aren't using your real name, you're a coward.
I really like the creativity your mom had in naming you. Like, solid marks to her.
No, pseudonyms are good, and if you use them, that helps a little bit.
I do have some thoughts on the GitHub thing. Like, so. Oh, I got two mics there.
That was not practice.
So, it's all rehearsed. None of this is live. No, I was saying, like, so the last thing that happened that I remember kind of like this was the blacklist, whitelist thing. And there was like the woke police that came through the Bitcoin core code base, among many other GitHub code bases. And they're like, you gotta stop using these terms because they're like racist, I guess, right? And so they wanted you to use like the new phrases, block and allow list. We can't have the word black and white list in the code base. and like without making a comment on whether like removing on the general like goal of it, I don't think this idea of like the rest of society invading our code bases. For a long time as like developers, we were able to just like kind of do things of the world caring what we did, and like you can kind of see the all-seeing eye starting to like invade a little bit and be like, wait, maybe we want to control your behavior while you're coding things.
We did the same thing in GitHub too. The master slave.
Oh yeah, no, there's no more masters, and yeah, that's a thing. So we're kind of seeing a little bit of that, and I hope it doesn't continue. But like, even if it does, though, like development in general is already like very decentralized. Like you don't have to use GitHub; you can use the Git tool without GitHub. Yeah. So like all that's really happening is the more that things like GitHub exercise this kind of power by blocking developers certain things, they're just going to push developers away from them. So like we'll be like the development community will still work and be fine throughout all of this. It's just more like now it's annoying we don't get the pretty colors and UI that GitHub has.
So it's not like Obi-Wan where we're all hiding in like caves or something. So,
Well, we can't hide from caves and commit code with satellites.
Like, the Empire comes after us and stuff like.
That's why we use the satellites. They can't track us. Yeah.
You can if you want. If you want to hide in a cave and code from there, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Or the ocean on a sailboat, a little like Starlink hookup.
Do we have like a GitLab, like a Bitcoin hosted GitLab where it's just all Bitcoin?
A bit lab, maybe.
It's an interesting idea. Like one of the funny dynamics with GitHub is like the entire database is replicated on every developer's computer that just downloads it, including all the history and everything. So like all GitHub's really doing is helping to coordinate those developers' code bases. So we already have redundancy built into the entire freaking thing. And like if GitHub stops being a good coordinator, then we'll have to switch to something like that. I don't know, but like, if we made our own version of GitHub with our own GitLab for Bitcoin stuff, or we're just creating a new honeypot, is it better to do like the central like Star Wars Jedi like council, or is it better to distribute across all the planets across the universe? It's an interesting question.
I think the reason why honeypots are popular is because, well, they're a metaphor for the fact that honey is really good. Like it's a good thing to have.
True.
So the idea of are we recreating a honeypot as if that's a bad thing? No, it'd be a good thing. Just because the government wants the honey doesn't mean the honey's bad.
So what kind of honey do we get in this analogy? We get like easier coordination with like Bitcoiners?
Sure, the starring and the issue page and the pretty colors that GitHub gives are useful tools.
The stars are a good point. Definitely give all of the Bitcoin developers lots of stars on GitHub. They really like that, and they're not paid very much, so they need all they can get.
Yeah, it makes I don't know how many times I've wanted to find something and I use GitHub search tool, and you don't get that in Git by itself.
And just receiving stars is nice. Give your local developer a nice little star. Yeah.
As a non-coder, can someone write something so that my Raspberry Pi that's already running from the Mino software has a one-click like help the network store this type of stuff, so that I can now be a person to go hold this code base so that other people have access to it?
The function's called git pull, so you can use that. You type git pull and then you put in the URL for whatever repository you want
manually, right? Like I think he's talking about having his Raspberry Pi just constantly back up on the things.
The Mino software has like turn on the coordinator or turn on the block explorer.
Yeah.
Have like a turn on, create, and tracker.
Yeah, I think you do is while sleep one semicolon do git pull semicolon done. It doesn't actually help you, but that would work.
I don't think there is such a tool, but it would take like 5 minutes to make one. So.
You are missing like all the issues and comments, right? If we were
Yeah.
not have.
Like every feature GitHub has added that we've gotten used to now is going to go away.
Are there any alternatives that are kind of should be deserving of spotlight now? Now that this is
GitHub is good, right? But it's not like it's used for projects.
I suspect somebody's made a clone of GitHub. It's probably on GitHub.
I heard someone say the Linux developers literally don't use any of this. They just email each other like diffs of code, which whether it's true or not, like it's kind of baller if they're actually doing that. And like email is like way less centralized than like something like GitHub is. And like you can run your own email server, right? So it's like more immune from these things. Excuse me.
Is GitHub itself open source? Could you like fork GitHub and you could make Bitcoin or GitHub?
I was wondering this too.
Same features.
It would be ironic if it wasn't. If the front end for GitHub is closed source, that would be fun.
That would be.
But I actually suspect it is closed source.
I mean, it is weird. Like Microsoft used to be the big evil-ish company in the eyes of people, And like now they've become like the happy one, the nice one. They care about open source and stuff. And they've been like, no, they trying to change their branding around. But then this move is like reverting back to being the evil, like, what are the evil guys in Star Wars called again?
Yeah, it just feels like a total like evil empire kind of thing, dude. It's
Yeah.
like this week feels like that. It just feels like they're
The Empire.
yeah, it feels like the empire.
Strikes back.
It almost feels like they took the summer off or something, and then like August hit, and now they're like back at it. Even like there's even like Klaus Schwab stuff going on, so it's just it's kind of weird. No, they were always evil.
They like well,
They
isn't
tried
there,
to appear that way.
isn't like the best villain, the villain with good PR, right? Like that's how you go. Like in Harry Potter, this happened, right? Voldemort figured out, like if I just like do good PR plus being evil, it works more effective than just
Lex
being
Luthor's
evil.
a better example.
Ah.
He's very good. Everyone likes Lex Luthor in the Superman universe,
Yeah.
except Superman.
So like what? Yeah, it's almost like we're all kind of desperate for like the wanting to think they're good. Just give us a little bone, like say like.
Just dominate the conversation.
I-
Change the meaning of words.
That sounds fun.
Here, I got a question. Can splicing fix this?
Yes, splicing fixes everything. Go to your local 7-Eleven now and pre-order splicing as soon as you can.
Tell us about splicing. How's that going?
Dude, splicing's going great. I feel like a couple months ago I was working on like the segregated witness part of splicing, and I got that song "Can I Get a Witness" like stuck in my head for like months, and it's finally out of my head. I'm like done dealing with the witness stuff, and now I'm dealing with like HTLC stuff, and like my brain is like searching
Not
for
very
a
many
song.
songs for HTLC.
There's so few songs. So if someone has an HTLC song, I would like love to hear it. I have one that I've been there
I
referencing.
could be your
It's-
time lock, baby. Well, I don't think that's
That's
one.
pretty good. It's better than what I had, which is there's this song. I forget the name of the song, but it starts with like BBC One, BBC Two. I don't know if it's Beatles or something.
TLC is like a rap group from the 90s.
Okay, I gotta show them their
11 Care.
songs.
Crazy cool.
Yeah, that's true.
You just need an H in there.
There we go. Yeah. So anyway, I'm deep in like HTLC land. I'm learning way more about HTLCs than I ever wanted to know.
If I search HTLC on Spotify, the only thing that comes up is a podcast and then things that don't match.
That feels about right. It's maybe the least singable like phrase out there.
Dustin, there's a fun gossip message that you added for.
Who?
I remember at Bitcoin Plus Plus, but I can't remember what it was. What was it? It was like something STFU or.
Oh, yeah. There's the STFU message. I think Rusty picked that. Yeah, Rusty picked that. At least is confirming. Yeah, it's like that. So the other way to phrase it is like the quiescence mode. Do you know how to pronounce that? Quiescence. Yeah, quiescence mode. I can definitely pronounce that without trying or asking for help.
Is that with a K or a Q?
With a Q, and it just means like the quiet mode. You know, like the nap room, right? And like there's this. Yeah, and it's funny. It's called that. Nowhere in the spec does it say "shut the fuck up." It doesn't say it anywhere. It says quiescence mode. I'm already saying it wrong again, I think. But the actual like message, like the message type is 4 letters, is STFU, and I think Rusty called it like
Smart, yeah.
something fundamental is underway or about to happen or something. And if you like pervert the acronym, it's technically STFU. That's a good one.
So is that while the transaction is confirming before the 6 o'clock?
It's an important distinction. It's not while it's confirming, because that takes a while. It's like, because you need 6 confirmations an hour. The STFU mode is more for literally like half a second or so, just because there's all these complicated states where if payments are coming through as you're building the splice transaction, it creates this insane cascade of like corner cases and like.
Because you're supposed to, like, they're supposed to be in parallel.
Yeah. And so like while we're building the splice, we turn it off for like half a second. STFU mode is just like, just leave everything where it is right now, ossify it for half a second till we can like get our shit together. Then once it's together, which doesn't take very long, then we start processing payments again.
So splicing is going to slow down the Lightning Network?
No, it's to stop the FUD. No.
Is that the? You just said turn off your channel for half a second while I prepare a splice transaction.
Did you wait half a second for me?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. See? No, but it does illustrate that.
I would
like,
wait 500,000 years for you, buddy.
Oh.
And he lived happily ever after.
But it is like the one of the really cool, awesome things about splicing is that you can do this operation to change the channel and still process payments while you're waiting for it to confirm on chain, and that's like
After the half second.
after the half second. On my computer, it's actually like
I'm just-
0.1 seconds.
I like to. my channels can handle about 15 transactions per second, but it sounds like that number will go down when
7.
splicing is there, because I'll have to wait half a
How
second.
often are you gonna be splicing?
Every half second.
Oh, that's a nice thought.
Do you think that there's an impetus to take more security measures for Bitcoin projects, especially privacy ones? Because like Samurai, Whirlpool, they're very well positioned compared to everyone else as far as like all of their developers are pseudonymous. They've hosted their own code on GitLab, on their own GitLab instance forever. They have backups. They've had like this exact kind of scenario in mind for a while. Yeah, they have a legal defense fund.
Yeah, I guess I worry for them.
Yeah, we actually did a rip this morning with Marty, and he had Preston Byrne on. That comes out on Monday at 8 a.m. Definitely, I would say, like, if there's any developers out there that are listening or even watching in here, like, watch that episode. He drops like a lot of really good, like, high level intelligence about like what to do.
One of the choices that was made by the Tornado Cash developers is that every time you use the Tornado Cash contract, you have to reuse the Tornado Cash contract address, and that made it very easy to ban because they could point to a particular Ethereum address and say,
Because it's an
"You're no
account-based
longer
model.
allowed."
Is that what it is?
It has to
Ethereum
do with
is
that,
a-
but
yeah.
you can have an account-based model and still make a new address every time, and they chose not to do that. In all of the CoinJoin software now, after Wasabi changed it, we make a new address every time for each transaction, and that makes it much harder for them to point to a particular one and say you're not allowed to send to this address. So I think that helps. It makes it more resilient that we don't reuse addresses in our CoinJoin software.
It's interesting though that they can't necessarily take down the contract because it's living on the blockchain.
We'll see. I think most people in Ethereum land don't run their own nodes.
So it's just Infuria, isn't it? Or
They
Infuria?
connect to Infuria, who runs most of the nodes, and Infuria is blocking access to that contract. So if you try to download the text of that contract or use it in your transaction, Infuria will say the error. This address is on an SDN list, and we can't send you its contents.
So you do have to use your own node to get around that.
Or someone who's not blocking it. But for a very long time, Ethereum people have said like it's stupid this idea that many people should run their own nodes and make the network resilient that way. It's just a mountain man fantasy. But that attitude has come around to bite them because now that no one's running Ethereum nodes and everyone's using just Infuria has complete control over what you get access to on the blockchain. If you're not complete control, but if you're using them, they have control. Not your node, not your rules. Go ahead.
Isn't it trivial for someone to fork it though with a new contract address and then they have to do the whole thing again?
I assume it is trivial to fork it and put it on a new contract address. I've never written an Ethereum contract, so I'm not perfectly sure, but it probably is.
The Doge copies, I don't think it's like too difficult.
But Doge is go ahead.
Galaxy Digital had like a 30-page debrief of what happened, what the implications were, and what they think the ramifications are going to be. So if you guys want a deeper dive within a Galaxy Digital tornado hack, like very worthwhile to skim through to figure out how all of this played out. My big takeaway from it was when Infuria said, okay, hey, we're US based, we have to no longer support this address. MetaMask, which is the most used Ethereum wallet, was no longer able to interact with that address because they use Infuria.
Right. Yeah, everyone in Ethereum uses Infuria because they offer a very cheap, useful service. But there's a problem with that, which is it centralizes everything.
I'm just enjoying the fireworks, you know. Like my care about Ethereum is maybe negative. I have like, and it's just like I'm like, oh, you guys have problems. Okay, let's get the popcorn and see what happens.
Let's get a show of hands in here. Who runs your own node? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, look at all those hands go up. Like this couldn't happen in Bitcoin because if you
Who runs
wanna
a full
use-
ETH node? I mean, not me. Okay, no hands.
Well, this is no one in here would anyway.
So do you think everybody moves over to Ethereum Classic?
Oh my god, I am curious. That is another like watching the Ethereum world burn that I a little bit short and forward enjoy. Is like when they do the proof of stake thing. There's gonna be a non-proof of stake fork, and they're gonna compete with each other.
Oh, it's gonna be even worse than proof of stake.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ethereum Classic 2 squared or something, and then they're gonna like fight it out.
Last
And
I checked, like almost half of the entire staking pool is by 3 different people.
Yeah, so that makes it a lot easier to like censor the contract and say you 3 aren't allowed. Even if people are running their own full node, they still have to get get their transactions processed through block producers under the proof of stake model. And if they just go after those 3 and say don't produce any blocks with transactions to or from Tornado Cash, you're screwed because they went to proof of stake. You can't even mine your own transaction anymore.
So there are two points on that. The first is people are just finding out now that you can't actually withdraw your ETH2 staked Ethereum. Like, there are going to be hard limits when they do allow withdrawals. It's going to be like a certain amount, like per week or month or whatever, that you're allowed to take back. And then the other thing is, I believe I didn't check this myself, but I heard that the Beacon contract that started like ETH2 was actually initially funded with Tornado Cash funds.
Oh, so ETH2 is already burned. One of our audience members said that there is Tornado Cash ETH in the Beacon chain, the proof of stake chain that they're going to try and switch to soon.
I think
which is a lot of fun.
I think what they're trying to say is ETH2 is officially illegal. So
Nice.
good luck there.
Yep, that's our ETH segment for the week. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. Talk about Nostr. I know you got a workshop coming up next Saturday.
Yeah,
Super Testnet.
next Saturday you can come to Pleb Lab where I will be presenting how to build a Nostr app. We're going to do a little workshop where I show how to connect to a Nostr relay, how to publish public messages, how to publish encrypted messages, how to listen for messages. It'll be a lot of fun. So come to that if you want to learn how to build on Nostr.
Are there any strings allowed during this particular event?
No strings. This is a Nostr event. Can't have strings.
Fair.
Do you accept dirty fiat as payment or only Lightning Bitcoin?
There's no payment. So I don't accept either.
I think he accepts zero balance Lightning invoices. It has to be 0.
One of the nice things about the Lightning Network is you can refuse transactions. Unlike base layer Bitcoin or Ethereum, you can prevent people from paying you. So no.
Yeah, it'll be on a Saturday. It'll be like at 12, and I think we're only doing like 15 just because I think that's all we can support right now.
I think we can support more. If you want to come, you don't have to sign up. Just show up.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
It is on next Saturday at Pleb Lab. Next Saturday meaning this coming or the one after?
Not tomorrow, but the week after.
Okay, so
At noon?
Yeah.
Noon.
Cool. What are we at, Logan? Cool.
You talking about new coiners?
I want to stream it. I think the biggest part right now, we were trying to get the projector and then the all that other stuff like set up. So we ordered that today, so it should all come in, and then literally yeah. So then I think we're just gonna do we probably will do a stream or at least record it. But oh, okay.
That's fascinating. We did just order one, but we can have 2.
Yeah.
So it'd be great.
We're just trying to do more like free and open source stuff at Pleb Lab and trying to just really hit home on that. And we created like a meetup page so that we can get more people like in the greater, because it's a big Ethereum developers in town and stuff. So like it'd be cool to get.
Yeah, bring them over.
We'll just bring them over. So at least that's our hope.
We'll kick them while they're down.
No, actually, they want to join us because we can't get sanctioned.
Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, go for it.
Join ideas.
Oh,
like the.
Are you joking or are you serious?
No, seriously. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a whole scope.
Like my whole thing is I don't want to force you guys to talk about anything you don't want to talk about publicly.
I'm trying to think of like what I don't want to talk about publicly, and I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I probably should have. Oh.
What?
All right, failed back test. Okay. That game ended very quickly. Anyway, new coin joins, right? So like. Now I'm very distracted. Okay, so like coin joins today are expensive, right? You have to pay. Like coin joins they cost a lot to do to pay the coordinators, right?
No, but if you use Join Market, you get paid to coin join.
There you go. That's true. There are other. Well, that ruins our next point.
Keep going.
Pretend my point is correct without the caveats, asterisk. But there is a world with a potential future Bitcoin update, which goes by many names. One of them is SysAg, where ends up being cheaper to move Bitcoin inside of a coin join than to do a regular on-chain transaction. And I think this like fundamentally changes the entire system, and for a couple of reasons. Like one, a coin join is more effective the more people that are in it, right? And trying to get people to do it is like a sort of an effort, a challenge, because not everybody, but some people have to pay to join it, and more have to pay to join it than get paid to join it. And that's like a challenge, right? But if you make it so it's literally cheaper to be in the coin join than to not, you're going to draw people that are just literally focused on profit incentive and aren't there for privacy, are going to become a larger set to build more privacy, right? And this is the promise of the SysAg update. So like to
Is this an update? Is this like a proposal?
yeah,
Well, this
yeah.
is possible.
It almost made it in Taproot, but it didn't.
Cross input.
Cross input signature aggregation. I call it SysAg. It's hard to name. This is a hard one to name, you know. I feel like naming is important, right? I feel like all of the boringly named potential Bitcoin updates like don't get any attention, you know. Like what are the coolest ones to me? Like APO and SysAg, right? Like boring names to say. Those aren't very exciting. Like Taproot, SegWit, fucking exciting to say, right? So like when you like, I feel like the
I think SegWit is about as confusing as SysAg. They're both like random
You're
parts
saying
of a word.
my name idea is almost as good as SegWit? Oh.
Yeah, well, as bad as SegWit. So isn't it already cheaper to do a collaborative transaction than
No, that's fair. That's fair.
You get
yeah.
rid of
Marginally,
overhead,
just
like
a little bit.
You don't have to pay. 'Cause if I do a transaction, you do a transaction. They're both pieces of text that have to go on the blockchain, and both of them have like the lock time in there, the version number, the sequence number, and that's like 10 bytes.
Yeah.
But
So what
if
is
we
the
do-
sequence number for? Sorry.
If we combine them,
yeah.
then we would each only have to pay for one of those. So it would only be 5 bytes that we have to pay for instead of 10.
Yeah, the overhead bytes in the transaction you share the cost of like collectively. Yeah, and that is definitely true. But like the thing that SysAg does, like the savings for that are like very small, and the most expensive part of a Bitcoin transaction is the signature. The signatures are like comparatively huge. And if you can merge your signatures together and save space there, like the savings you get become dramatic, right? To the point where it's like a business, like an exchange, looking at their bottom line, being like, why are we paying for all this signature stuff? It's literally in our cost center, and we can like reduce it down like by a lot. Like then it starts pushing more and more companies to do that. And I think like that's how we get the pool larger, is with the incentive. Does that make sense? What do you think?
It does. I think the transaction overhead is about 4% of an average transaction.
Yeah.
And the signature is around 50% of the size of the transaction.
Yeah.
So it is a huge difference. But 4% is also a really big impact on someone's bottom line.
That's true.
And so if you made a service just today without waiting for SysAg, where you could incentivize people to do collaborative transactions by telling them you can save 4% on every transaction.
You mean like splicing?
Sure. I think such a service would be useful.
Yeah.
Collaborative splicing.
Collaborative splicing. Yeah, splicing is collaborative. Like one of the like totally random side effects of splicing that you wouldn't guess just looking at it originally is that like because the splice transactions are all built collaboratively, you know, props to Nifty for thinking of this idea. You can add other collaborative transactions to the splice transaction, and you end up in this potential world where like every Lightning operator is their own coin join coordinator, and they can join with each other, and you get this sort of like spread out coin join thing with that 4% discount by joining it kind of thing, and an anonymity spread.
That sounds awesome. I love the future world that Dusty builds.
Oh, the future is great.
Yeah, it's really cool. I can't wait to. When are you gonna be done with splicing, or is it never done?
Oh, it's in 2 weeks. I did say that.
That's weird. I just keep hearing the same thing. 2 weeks.
Yeah. No. 2 weeks ago I said it was 2 weeks, but I forgot about the next 2 weeks. I didn't include those in the estimate, and it did happen a couple times.
2 weeks. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I don't know. I think my biggest thing is I just fear for all of my friends who are developers, and I hope they leave all y'all alone. And like that's my biggest fear. It's like, but I've been praying.
Hey,
So-
sanctions people, if you want to come after my friend Dusty, you have to come through me.
No.
Me too. You got to come through me.
No.
You got to come through all the plebs before you get to the devs. That's how it works.
I was warmed.
So, you guys have any questions?
Yeah. So what is this show notes about Kyle's dog being huge?
Dude, so have you been seeing Kyle's dog's dumps?
Dude, every day I come in and
huge.
pet the dog. Oh, his dumps?
Yeah.
I saw one dump.
The dog itself is huge.
The dog is huge.
It's a puppy and it's already huge.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
He has such big
the size as the refrigerator. It's already the size of the counter. It's like that height.
For those of you who can't see it, that's about the size of his dog, so, for reference.
Speaking of fridges, would you mind passing me the Sephora from the...
There you go.
There you go. We got the...
There you go.
Thanks.
It's about the size of our head.
Is there anything else we should talk about? What's time like?
Is Lisa still around?
I don't.
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
Base 58 had like a seminar today.
Oh yeah,
let's
there
go
you go.
Base
Yeah, let's do it.
Alternatively, it's the Alternatively,
scared, Super?
it's the height of like this table at the end to the floor, which is also in frame, and then a little higher than that.
It's like 12 of these stacked up.
While we're all debating the camera,
There we go. But I do want to say, I feel like Base 58 is like low key, like the best fucking Bitcoin education that's out there. It just keeps getting better.
Round of applause for Base 58.
Yeah. But the way I'm noticing this is like the people that have gone through it, like the amount of things they know that they think of as just totally normal to know is astounding. They come out as just like, they don't realize their power level kind of thing. They're just like kind of like Bitcoin geniuses.
Like these guys know what code separator does. I mean,
is he blushing? Did I make him blush?
Time chamber to get a throwback in there. Like you go in, you do some push-ups, and you come out so much smarter and already.
Yeah, I've totally done that. It sounds great.
Yeah, I know what lights are now.
Nice. Nice.
do you know what code separator does?
What code separator?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but I know hexadecimal.
Okay,
All
so
right.
for context, opcode separator is, in my mind, the most bastardized opcode in Bitcoin. I'm not sure why it exists. It is the hardest thing to support, causes all these challenges, and like literally nobody uses it, and like has to be considered for every single Bitcoin update. So he's trying to ask a Trump question. It sounds like.
I just want to
Do
know.
you know what opcode separator is for?
Yeah, I do. It makes it so that when you're signing a message, you only have to sign the part of the transaction before code separator happens.
Okay.
Did you take the Base 58 course too?
No. But
Okay. What happens if you have two opcode separators?
then
Scripts?
the first signature signs what's before the first one, and the second signature signs what's before the second one.
You make it sound so simple.
Okay.
Speaking of Base 58, they just won kind of an award competition with Replit, which Replit is like
Oh, yeah.
one of the biggest coding developer-focused startups in the world right now. And they got like a direct shout out from the CEO and won. Replit was having like a content for like education, a competition for educational content, and Base 58 was one of the winners.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think Cody built that. The thing Cody built was insane. He was showing it to me. It's like he built this thing where you can spin up from nothing a Bitcoin node and a core Lightning node in like 40 seconds. And it is like trusted. It's using like different APIs and stuff. But you can have the actual RPC calls and everything, like a legitimate thing, which they're like using for their education thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, someone made another one for LND as
I think
well.
it's kind of cool, like, because Stack, Nifty, and Cody, like, I think it kind of just shows you, like, when you get like Bitcoiners together who actually care about what they're building, like, it actually becomes a lot better than the current system. And yeah, Base 58's great. I mean, they're big. They made it.
Udemy course coming out, I think.
Oh yeah, when is that coming out?
At LitDevs, I think they said a few days.
So yeah, just go to base58.info. There's you said a Udemy course may be coming?
Yeah.
Cool. So that'll be cool.
Also, check out their channel on BitcoinTV. They have like so much.
Oh yeah, that's where all the Bitcoin plus content's at, is on Bitcoin TV.
Plus a ton of lectures, a ton of like after hours stuff.
Yeah.
If you're a pleb dev.
Yeah, for sure. I think yeah, go for it.
I was just saying, what else can we call out? You know, I have some ideas. I just want to say that there's this like one dude in Austin who's like an amazing Bitcoiner and just super nice and generous all the time. It's fucking Carr, and I just feel like we should just appreciate Carr for a minute. He's not gonna like this, but my point is I appreciate you, man.
No, thanks, dude. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Now that I've
I think
embraced
my biggest thing is I don't like picking it up. Like that's my thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we
Yeah,
back to
I gotta stay
Are
humble.
we back to the
Last
dog's
time,
poop
last
sizes? Is that
No,
what we're
I
doing
just gotta
again?
stay humble. It's like something Odell always preaches.
Oh, okay, I can critique you then. Does that help?
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
you
Let's
only have
just...
two mics. The third would be nice.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk? Oh, there we go. Just got. Okay. Can you get? Oh, it's gonna echo weird. His ears are hurting.
So weird, dude.
Oh man.
I know Logan's face like literally lights up.
You can feel.
Don't you guys understand audio engineering?
The answer is no. I don't.
Logan's just like, quit touching the mics. That's just his thing.
So how long do you do this for?
He's like, it hurts my ears.
We're about done.
We're about done,
I
yeah.
feel like I take all the stage time. Should someone else like come up here and like?
Dusty, what do you think of Voltage, our sponsor?
Oh yeah, what do you think of our sponsor, Voltage?
Yeah, volts are way better than amps. Go for volts today. No, Voltage is awesome. I'm really hoping that they like nudge do Core Lightning soon. That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, why isn't that happening yet?
He doesn't work there.
Yeah, I don't work for.
No one in this current audience.
But regardless if they do Core Lightning or not, Voltage is an awesome company. The ability to spin up, the ability to 2 weeks. The ability to
Clark
spin up.
gets it. He finally understands the joke.
The ability to spin up Lightning nodes easily and quickly is like fucking awesome. And
And they added a new feature recently where you get, with one click, you get inbound liquidity from them. They will open a channel to you and put some sats in it so you can receive money.
There
which
you
is
go.
really neat. A really useful feature.
And then I wonder if you like needed some more money in that channel later, they could splice in some more funds for you. Yeah. If they use Core Lightning, huh? It's a thought.
Yeah, they're even. I think Voltage is even doing like I saw it on Twitter the other day. They're doing like these workshops too as well online. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so definitely check out Voltage for all that. And yeah, this has been a PBS.
Shout out their Discord.
Oh, their Discord. They have a Discord.
Yeah.
What's their Discord?
All right.
It's probably just on their.
Just stall while I look it up.
Stall while you look at it. Yeah. What is that? Sapo? Is that a?
Yeah, it's Sapo, Sapporo, depending how you pronounce it. Yeah, I believe it's a beer. I'm not sure if it's based out of wheat or rice. I presume because it's from Asia, it must be a rice-based beer.
There's also pictures of wheat on the.
Right,
on the
I meant wheat-based
label.
beer, obviously. Can you make beer from rice? Is that possible?
Hey, guys, it's barley and rice.
Barley and rice?
Yeah.
Oh, in Sapporo. So this is barley here, not.
Barley, that's why it's
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What was
I
the
did-
Discord?
I don't think they have a.
It looks like wheat to me, but I guess that's
It
just
looks
'cause I
like
don't
it
know.
says it, voltage.info, but yeah, like, try
Yeah.
to find your Discord
Voltage.
because
Voltage.info. Oh, there he goes. Speaking of Voltage.
Hey, we finally got a Voltage member in the.
Well, he's
well,
probably
not in the
busy right
audience, but in the room.
But yeah, that's been PBS Live. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next week.